So this is actually a white label database that I'm personally launching on the back end of what we're doing with Data to Leads. So I was able to acquire homeownerdatabase.com. As you can see, this is kind of where you start plugging in everything. But the really cool thing that we've been able to do is do a step-by-step funnel process. This is going to take you through everything that you need in order to get your funnel online. So if you start customization, first step is getting your website online, your description. And one of the really cool things that we've built is this assessment information page that Stripe is requiring everyone to fill out in order to get your API key working. So if you just go down through here and enter in all of your information, it's actually going to pre-fill out the form that you need. So once all of this is filled out, you can hit download, and then it's going to create the page that you need to send into Stripe. And with this form, we've been getting accounts approved within about 24 hours. Here's where you can do your different color schemes, filling out all the lead form information kind of set up for you now. Whereas before it was, a lot more intensive with CSS and things of that nature. I can go here and I can go to edit it since I can't pass that previous screen. This is still where you're going to have to do some custom CSS information to get it designed how you want. We're still in the process of coming out with some pre-built templates, which I know a lot of people are asking for. One of the other things under white label tools, we've actually got a profit calculator built now. The rate that we want is 1.5 cents per lead. So then you can just mark that up however you want. So if we were building a 3 cent per, and our first package was 1,000, it calculates exactly what you should be charging and what the AvocaData fee is. Custom list, I know a lot of you are familiar with this. This is where we're able to make it easy for our customers to get the list that they want. So this could be restaurant owners mobile. This is a list of, we would select B2B database. And then over here, we would enter in the correct NAICS codes for restaurants. And we want to make sure that we have mobiles included. Get count. We see that we have 44,000 restaurant owners with mobile numbers included in this list. And then we just create that list.
Yeah, I did not realize that you could put multiple NAICS codes in there, though, so that's helpful. I might condense my lists now.
Yeah, the easiest thing that you can do is use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So give me all HVAC, because whenever you go to their website, like, you may not know exactly what to search for. And a lot of this is just like knowing that there's, other foundation structure and building exterior contractors is a code that could be listed. For the most part, our list is focused on the owner. We go over to the Data to Leads website, click on business, and then we scroll over. But if we keep scrolling, this first and last name should always be the business owner. We do have other databases coming out. That's more like what you would see in some of the competitors like Apollo, where you will be able to get, like, I want the chief marketing officer at these companies. So
yeah,
that's
that'll be good.
The process. First, we're getting this white label off the ground first, and then there's going to be many more databases added through the end of the year. So that's coming. And then as far as this list goes, in case anyone isn't familiar, depending on what you're looking for, some leads will have cell phone numbers but not email. Some will have email but not cell phone. So depending on what's important to you, you're going to toggle these. We just enter all the codes that we want. And this is going to pull the nationwide list. This is actually a plumbing list. And then if we wanted to filter by state, one of the best things that you can do is zip codes. So again, like if I were to type in Houston, Texas, for example, but as you can see, just using different zip codes and city, state variables is going to give you different data lists.
But on the white label side, when you're setting up your site, you basically just have one domain to be able to put in there, right? So like if you wanted to have a different homepage from the app itself.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing with my site. So I'm going to be using Go High Level, WordPress, or however you want to. You would take, because at the end of the day, the actual app that we have set up for you to white label, there's not a lot of SEO opportunity there, which, is going to be super important for, I'm going to take something like this, and then right here, instead, just get a quote. Instead of that going to a lead form, it will redirect over to, and then I'm going to build out. So the domain I'm building out for homeownerdatabase.com, I'm going to do a ton of like Houston homeowner database, Dallas, Texas homeowner database, and then it'll all be landing pages. We have 34,000 homeowners in this area, is using the same exact data to list, data to leads data that we have. I'm going to pull different subsets and I'm just going to throw them into SMS and email campaigns. And then, I'm going to go even deeper. I'm going to try some stuff like looking for hail damage that has happened in the last 7 days, and then doing SMS campaigns to like roofers and auto repair shops that says, hey, you just had hail in the last 7 days. I have 50,000 homeowner leads in your area. Would you like? That's not something we've tried at data to leads before, but that's something I'm going to be working on as a test for this building public project. Yeah, so here within the funnel request, the example of my homeowner database, I'm not going to have B2B or B2C turned on. It will specifically be a homeowner. So depending on who you're selling to, you can toggle these on and off.
So like how Chris was showing that you can, if someone searches for businesses in the state of Florida, you can make a dedicated offer for them to be able to give them a discount on any of the packages that you already have. So let me go off and show you how to do that. And I would also recommend when you're making your websites, obviously you want to get them ranking for SEO. So just find the top websites on Google that have keywords you're looking for. Everyone gets their own brokerage, right? We're adding a marketplace where everyone can license other types of services. So one might be email marketing providers. Another might be voice. Within that whole ecosystem, you're able to offer promotions to the customers that you have, or people that at least log into the system. Because when we go over to pricing offers, as like Chris showed before, we can see every single thing that each person does, right? So what did they search? What did they click? But based on that, you're able to create groups of people. And these groups of people are defined as people that completed a certain search feature. So this takes a few minutes, not a few minutes, but so what we can do is just like on the front end, right? It's just condensed into an admin dashboard with the different fields. We can go up and go, okay, well, if anyone actually hit the search button for the state of Texas, we can do that. And maybe they were looking for residential homeowner. And when we actually hit the search button, it's going to pull every customer that has ever looked for Texas homeowners. So you can see like how the number is 1375, 1476. So that's each customer ID that's ever looked for that specific search. So we can go select all. Now all these people will be in one specific group. And we go over here and they're now created. There's 31 people there. So what we can do in addition is we can put out an offer. So we can call it maybe, what's a good thing? We'll call it the same price. And actually 2x would be 15,000. So we're not going to put any discount, right? And we can put the duration, how many days you want it to last. So we'll just say 100 maybe. And we can add the extra credits here. So 15,000 bonus. Now we get to select the group of who we want to be tagged to that offer. And then we can finally tag it to the actual plan we want to discount. So we're going to select obviously the 30,000 leads used within 30 days. And if the plan isn't there yet, you can hit add plan. And you can go off and hit this. And now everyone that has done that specific search will get an email with the offer. It basically lets a pop-up happen. So if that person logs into the account, they would see a pop-up reflective of the offer and promotion. I'm going to log into my account. So you see right there, it tied the promotion I put. So I have two promotions out, right? So anyone that's ever, logged in, it's offering them. And you see like how these different offers are on. So like the California homeowners, that was the offer we see right here. That was tied to it. So I can just go flip that off, and then it takes like 5 minutes to update on the front end, but then it will remove that.
If you're generating the leads, you definitely don't want to be the source for the AI calling. But we can integrate. We're directly integrated with High Level, or we have REST API that we can integrate with ClearTalk.ai. We built the most robust conversational voice AI platform that exists currently. I would say there's a little competition out there for commercially viable voice AI, but all the integrations, all the automation, the way it performs, the way it handles objections, all of these factors, there's literally nothing out there like us. I've owned a solar company for 10 years, and we have over 200 salespeople across the country. We built this for us originally. Pretty much every other voice AI out there, they're just building tech to build and sell tech. We built this for us. It had to be good. It had to work. We owned our own giant call center, and we basically replaced all the humans in our call center, and then realized what we had built is pretty much what every single company on the planet needs. So we started offering it as a business. So it's a completely and utterly scalable call center that is virtually plug and play. We've made it very simple to use. So you can dump 100,000 leads in, and as long as they are opt-in, as long as you're following all the rules and regulations and laws, however you procure those leads.
So Don, actually, what I was going to say, we put together content of the compliant wage, right? So let me share my screen quickly. So I have a program that is built within here, and all this ties together, where these are directories, right? These are directories. So we were talking about how customers of a white label can build custom lists. So then their clientele have an easier time sorting it, right? This actually lets us build directories. So if there's 61,000 law firms, we can build 61,000 pages tied to ChatGPT, indexing them all. So when you look up car accident lawyer near me, you find it. So I wanted to also figure something out with that for inbound, because it's basically like a live transfer system, and we're setting up the appointment marketplace. So compliance is the only way we can grow, is by preaching compliance. And appointments, I think, is the clearest cut way to, messing up the changes that the FCC did, because you're fundamentally changing what it is you're doing. So basically, that was always my idea, is if we can basically resell those appointments through these white labelers at the same time. And basically people are being able to create these ecosystems. And
part of our ecosystem is agency build outs, and they have a bunch of clients that they service. If you're an agency with us, you can see all of your sub accounts and you can mark up minutes if you want. You can, build out call centers basically with a few clicks of a button, and they can do whatever they want. So they could each have their own white label and distribute those how they want to. They could charge people however they want to charge them. I think enough people use CRMs like High Level that's completely separate from us. And then if they're using us to call them, we're not even calling from the CRM. That's just where their data lives.
So you don't have any type of table that can store the contact info, right?
Yeah, we do. I thought you said you wanted to keep it separate.
So I mean, keep it separate, meaning that the person selling the data isn't the one selling the phone service. We're a network, right? So someone comes, they get in here, then they're like, oh, there's Don. Let's go integrate that API into this because I have customers buying $2.99 packages from me, and part of their $2.99 packages 100 minutes of calling. So what I'm going to do, I actually just made a new white label. So I'm going to go off and get that. I'll just run through live how I do that from scratch. It's a brand new one I just did for myself. So I have a domain that is b2cdatabase.com. Now, whenever you guys create your domains, I highly encourage that you actually do something that someone will search. Because if I just look up B2C database, 0 SEO off-page work, we're number 4 on Google right here. And then again, we pop up as number 13 right here. And I've just used this as a landing page, and I take some of the free leads, right? I mean, that you guys have access to download a few a day. And I'll actually make it a downloadable item because Google will end up indexing the database actually. So I have right here to create the free account because what does it do? It brings you square into your new white label account. Over to the website customization. And depending on where you are in the stages, this will or will not be complete. But if you go off, you hit start customization, we go through the process. So right here, I know in this, I want to use the word combinations B2C leads, and I want to use B2C data. Then I want to use consumer data, B2C lists, B2C leads, email lists, mailing lists, phone lists. So all this is doing is making all the different combinations you can possibly search something with. So I'm just going to take that, plug it into ChatGPT. Can you use SEO skills? What this is right here is the description of the website. And this description needs to be less than 160 characters for Google to like it. You know, plug that in. And if you haven't already, you hit white label dashboard, but we already white labeled it. So we also have our Striper authorize. If you need to integrate Stripe, it is a different process. You're going to need to go on to the next page here, which we'll do real quick together. So go off, hit next. You're going to see that there are these instructions here. And what Stripe is making you do is submit this document, which is just saying you are responsible with financial info. Send it in, 12 minutes later, they approve you. 12 hours later, they approve you. You want to put the domain that you're actually taking payment on, which would be the one that you white label here. This I should actually remove, but always fill it as NA. So now when I hit download, it's going to take about 30 seconds. So this is the document that it fills out. All the right information about the system is configured. All the right options are selected. The only remaining thing for you to do to get your API to take payments turned on is to go all the way to almost the last page. It's section 2. You just sign this right over here, signature, merchant name, date, title. you're able to then go off and send that directly to Stripe. There's a login link that we have. You go to Stripe and you just click support. Basically, say you want to request to activate the API payment key. You can go off and email that document. They will send you the email to send it to because it's not the same one every time. 12 hours later, they will approve your payment ability to start taking credit card. And you can give Chris or I a call. We'll test our card just to make sure it works. Next, they're able to control what your website looks like. Then you're able to put all of your company details in here. You can easily upload a logo. Sake of time right now, I will use this one. So we got this saved now. So we got a blank canvas right now. See the company name posted. Got to fill out the content on the website, which I'm not going to do entirely right now, but I want to point this out. So these are links that we encourage you build. You don't have to, but what they will do is put a nice video, a short little video that you record of your system right on the homepage for your. So as you see, I'm gonna go and select the video. When you upload new videos, basically the algorithm pushes you in front of new people that would not have seen your business traditionally. And just consistently, I do one every other day minimum. So like, for instance, this is a great example of turning into a course that I can divide into 5 videos and obviously edit a lot of this out. But now every video you make of you explaining things is less time you need to be one-on-one on the phone with somebody. And that's what really lets you scale, is creating these little groups like this. I mean, I personally like small groups, 5 people that are potential prospects. Because anything more than that, you may have one person ask a lot of questions that bores half the audience and they just slowly leave. So that's one thing you don't want to. And obviously, I mean, I can go off, throw some ChatGPT, which I would do. Expand on this description no more than 45 words. Oops, didn't paste it. And yeah, prompting ChatGPT with the right amount of words, right amount of characters saves you a lot of frustration of it doing what you don't want it to. So this section right here, header 1, this is header 1. 1, 2, 3. So this content we just put here will end up where this white smaller font is. Now, the next section, which you can see right here, this would be section 1. I did a lot of customization, coded in, which I'll make another video showing how I made these buttons and just stuff like that. You notice I'm again doing multiple combinations, right? Consumer database of B2C leads, USA consumers. Now I'll go plug this in. These boxes within the website builder are set up where you are able to obviously type in plain text and whatnot, but you have the ability to be very custom like this.
So what I like to do is get a little bit of a starting point. So we got the framework.
And one important thing, you do have to read what it says. As long as you prompt it right with what you're really looking for and your objective, just making sure that could it have fit in more keywords in there, for instance, that might have been beneficial. We got what we want, so I'm just gonna start from here, style, and I'm gonna go save. So now if I go back to here, we have our changes and see we have our glow. We can see our lists. Unfortunately, it didn't do the colors we wanted, but that's not really that big of a deal because we can not only, copy and paste, but if you're using the ChatGPT 4, you're able to screenshot pictures. So I'm going to go screenshot this picture and let ChatGPT know that they're an amateur. You are a really bad engineer. So it'll go off detailed. So we want to fit that inside the styling. And I'll actually make all these different snippets of code like indexed, so that way you guys can access all this. But I go off, I hit save, just like that. We fixed that whole navigation bar. Now, how do we get it this color? So where is this information coming from? It's coming directly from consumer contact lists, phone, email, and mailing. So what we want to do is we want to tell ChatGPT, can you style this mustard color? So basically you're able to obviously do all the styling at the top, but that's not what we want to do in this instance. That's definitely, that's right, but ChatGPT will fix it for me. That's what I was looking for. When we go off and we take a look at the update, we now have this styling here. And you can do that for any of these sections. Because right now I'm trying to figure out why that image doesn't appear to be showing. This file, the name of it is too long. So you can only have a file that has at most, I just renamed a few of them so they were short. And I can plug in this one right here. Now that's saved. So if we go back and refresh, we have our, so the next section we get the build is right over here. Make sure we were able to change. All right, so that's still like that. So what I'm going to do immediately is use the same styling right here, data enrichment or data cleansing. Again, I just put in a few keywords that I know that I 100% want to rank for. So again, we see it actually made the dedicated section. This one's custom, so that applies just to custom. This one is data, so it applies just to the sections labeled as data. But if we wanted to turn those into, you know, forwarding links or backlinks to maybe a website page that you have that maybe has more description or different type of lead magnet, I guess it doesn't like that image. It's that specific image it doesn't like. So now we got that saved once again, and if we look, we'll be able to see that if it works, which it did. I got my version of, I don't even know what ChatGPT made here, but so if we want to end up adding links to these different, you know, sections, we have the ability to do that again within the same system. So we'll go back to that section where we wrote that short code, and we can see right here where highlight data enrichment. This one right here is now a link. We're able to add buttons as well. So what I'm going to go and ask ChatGPT to do, can you code button? You are supposed to, you know, stack this stuff, but for purposes of, and actually what I'll end up doing is I'll go to ChatGPT and ask it to fix this exact, you know, cluster of copy and pastes. I'm just trying to combine these together because what it's going to do is take away whatever, you know, stuff that isn't needed. And when I go back and copy and paste this, we'll have one final, then we'll be done with this entire first part. Save, and the final product of that effort is this nice button right here. I didn't link it to anything, but point being is you have the ability to really do anything on these pages, although it's not a full builder. We're going to offer a lot of help and training with ChatGPT. You guys can message us about what your code looks like, and we can help you when we can. And I'll end this video for now, but this was great, and we'll continue this tomorrow.